don't know why the mouse disappears in here when I'm doing this. Okay, fine. So last time this is what we did. Based on this database, we were updating all the requested fields, which is like the total purchases here in the customer, the total amount in the sale, and the product, the stock quantity in the product. All of them we were doing this from within the trigger inside the sale details, and we had to declare a variable just for the sake of the customer field total purchases to be updated in it, because we don't have the customer ID here within the sales details. That's why we did it this way. You remember before I told you there are two ways: either you put everything in one place, or you can put another trigger in the sale. I'm going to do that later on, inshallah, so you can see both cases, and hopefully we'll see them working. But now I just would like to be able to do this after update or before update. It's up to you, but it's generally after, because after the update is done we would like to do the adjustments, which is the different adjustments. We said that in the past that actually the after update, it's exactly the same thing that we do. It's like a before delete and followed by an after insert. The same type of actions that we did in the delete, because when we do an update we don't know what kind of things are updated. We might be updating the quantity sold or the price, and there's no way for us to do that except if we'd like to go specifically and see which field was updated. It's going to be quite complicated. It will take us a lot of resources. It will be maybe more efficient in terms of you just change the one that needs to be changed, but there's a lot of checking that needs to be done, because you need to do the before, then before update you check what was before, which one was changed, and then you just do the change accordingly. If this is just the ID of the, sometimes the ID of the sale was changed, and you do some changes based on that. If it's the ID product that was changed, you do this based on so. But it will be some, I think, not really the best performance. If you do that, it will be maybe more specific and more precise in terms of how to deal with the update, but it will not be more efficient, because you have to do a lot of checking before you can do something. While with this technique of always deleting and answering, it's just going to make everything happen. Even sometimes, for example, if there was no change in the ID product or ID sale, but just maybe a change from the quantity sold from 10 to 5, the only thing that's going to change, or actually, no, this is not a good point. Maybe if I do change for the ID product, if I change, the only change that I do is just the ID product, which means the quantity sold is not changed. I don't need to do an update, and the price sold is not changed, so I don't need to do any update. But I'm not getting to that level for now. I'll just take it as granted. Whatever I do a change, let's delete what was done before and create a new one. It's like I'm deleting what was before and create a new one, so it's going to be always updated. We're going to deal with those special cases later, but in order for me to do that, it will be very, not interesting to copy and paste. Copy this one, put it there, and then paste it, copy and put this one and put it next to each other. It's a lot of waste, so it's better to put like a routine, right? So let's create a routine. But this routine, let's just give it a name. What do we call it? Updates. Do updates or something like that. The computer is getting crazy. Interesting. No way. Oh, why you want to open something? Okay, where were we? Let's give it a name. Update. No? Don't change it. Okay, I'm not going to change it. Maybe let's change it from here, and don't wait for this. It's crazy. The computer is getting crazy. Like I'm Senator. Okay, should I just name it update and see if maybe it's going to come soon? So, what are we going to be doing now? I just would like to be Alaikum salam. Let's just go for this. It was in sale details, so I'm going to open sale details if I can. Edit. Okay, I have it now. I'm just going to copy one of these because this is what I'd like to be doing actually. The only problem I need to manage now this I don't know why this is a problem for the computer. Can I just save everything and close? Thank you. Okay, so let's get back to here. So this is our routine. Let's make it big. So here we call it just update all. And then we are going to be getting this declare. However, we don't have new price and new quantity. So we need to have some kind of parameter, right? So we need to give them as a parameter. You remember there's in or in and out, out. So this is just an int. And I'm going to name it like quantity. So as I'm doing this, I'm going just to do it one by one so I don't forget anything. So let's just do it like this. This is the quantity sold, and again I don't see the mouse, so I'm just guessing where it is. Quantity, and that's it. No, it's still here. But this reminds me of something. I'm going to do something better later. Okay, quantity. Where else? I need also price. So let's do it the same, but actually I need to specify what's the data type, right? I forgot to do it. So int price double as well. The quantity was int, and the price was double. So let's just cut this to p, and same thing also here. We don't have new anymore, but we have the price. Okay, what else? We need also the ID. So ID of the sale. I'm just putting it differently so I can clearly see that this is different from that. It's an int, and I'm going to be doing the same thing now again. ID of the sale, and it's copy and paste. And I have ID of the sale here as well. So whenever there's a new something, I need to have something that give it to me. Is that all? I need also have the ID of the product. The ID of the customer is a declared variable, so I don't need to have it as a parameter because I get it from inside. So I don't get it here, but I need to have this ID of product. So int, let's say in ID product, which is another int. But just notice that it would be nice if I have them as they are in the database, just for the sake of being consistent. In the table, this is the sequence. Let's just keep it in the same sequence. The ID sale, ID product, quantity, and then price. Now the only thing I need to do is just make sure that this is ID product. And that's it. No, that's not it. This works well, but now if this is old, there's a change. This has to be a minus if it's an old,
we can plus
or plus. So this so whatever it's plus needs to be minus. Whenever it's minus, it should be plus.
no.
If this is okay, hold on. This update all. If it is after insert, let's go back here. After insert, the trigger, let me just if I can, it's very hard, but it's possible. Okay, so if now I can change this from here, right? I can change this with call update all, and then I put the new.id sale, new.id product, new.id quantity sold. I just need to be careful to put the right names. Quantity sold, and then new dot price, and that's it. This is going to be called and execute the same code that I just have put in here. So now this ID sale will be the new.id sale, this ID product, new ID product, quantity and price, whatever it is. But the problem is, when I'm having this delete, I don't have I have a minus here, I don't have a plus, and I don't have a I have a plus here, not a minus. If you look at the other one, what I had before, this has a plus all the time, and this has a minus all the time.
Make the negative sign when in the argument, we would enter.
So how do you do that?
In the call, can we multiply it by minus?
In the call?
Yes.
What do you like to do in the call?
The same.
You call it from here, and then you do what?
Can we do multiplication here by -1?
Where? What do you want to multiply by -1? The price? The quantity sold?
Yes.
Well, one of them, because if you multiply both of them,
No,
it will be positive. A negative multiplied by a negative, it's a positive. So you would like to, the idea is that you would like to do something like this, for example, for this after update. That's a good idea. Let's try it. Let's see how it will work out. Instead of doing just like this, I'll just do, for example, of course it's not going to be new, it's going to be old, and old, and old, and then old. But instead of having this, you're going to have like -1 multiplied by old quantity sold. So what is going to be happening, let's just see. Now this is going to become a minus, which is what we wanted, right? And this is going to become a plus, which is what we wanted too. And this is going to become a minus, because this is going to be what we wanted. So this will do. That's a good point.
But you have to be careful.
Yes, but this will work. You have somebody have some other suggestions?
Yeah, you have to be careful keeping track of the records in your table, because if it goes minus and you multiply it by -1, then we'll return to.
What should we do? I don't understand. What should we do?
What I mean is, when you do a purchase, sell detail.
Okay.
Then sell details. Let's say you have a quantity of 50.
Okay.
You sold 51.
Yes.
It's gonna be in -1.
Okay.
So whenever you update or delete, and you multiply it by -1 with -1, it's gonna be 1.
Yes.
So that will.
Of course. Of course. The code, even the old code, it assumes that you are just entering correct values for the quantity and for the price and everything. Because if you put like a negative number for the quantity, even the old code is not going to be able to manage it correctly. That's true.
We have to stop it before this happens.
Yeah, but this we assume it's managed, it's taken care of. But what you say is right. If the input is wrong, it can mess up the whole thing. But this doesn't relate only to this routine. It works even with our previous code. If there's a negative number in the quantity, then it's going to be messing up our calculations. But this is a very good fix. This is going to work with that. But I prefer something else. Let me suggest something to you, and let me tell you why I prefer something else. I want to make it clear that this is about what it is. So what I'm going to be doing is in, and I'm going to put it as a parameter, like a boolean. Is it like, for example, is delete? Is delete? I don't know how to name it. Is delete, or I don't know what, something like that. And this is going to be a boolean. Bool or boolean, all of these will do. Let's just make the full one. Now, what I'm going to be doing here is just, instead of making it some kind of a fix here, I just leave it there and then put it like, in this case, I'm going to make it, is it delete? Yes, this is delete, so I'm going to say true. And the other one, if it's not a delete, I'm going to make it false. So I'm turning on and off this feature, which is actually more clear when you know. So when you type this as a parameter, you are less prone to make a mistake or forget what you need to be doing. And this -1 thing, I will just put it inside here.
But in this case, if it is not delete,
Nothing happens.
nothing will happen.
Yes. But what I'm going to do,
Even the update, even the insertion. So
I mean, especially in the insertion. I don't know what you say when you say nothing will happen. What do you mean by nothing will happen?
this will, the fix you did will work only with the delete.
But it will work in all cases. You haven't finished yet. I'm just putting something in this. But this parameter is delete. Did I use it here yet? Not yet. So we don't know how I'm going to be using it. But how I'm going to be using it? Look at this. I'm going to declare a variable. I don't know. It's quite. I'm not very imaginative. Int and the default 1. And if this is delete, if this is true, then set var equal -1. You might get what I'm going to be doing. So now, instead of always having this multiplied by that, I'm just going to do this plus var multiplied by this rest. So this actually is going to do what? If it was already 1, nothing happened, nothing changes. Because if you do multiply by 1, it should be, I'm just adding parentheses for clarity, but I don't have to. And same thing here, just
Can we do if is delete and put all the
yeah, I didn't want to make a copy and paste, because that's why at first we started having this routine, just to avoid copy and pasting. So now what I'm doing, I'm just changing just a little bit the formula, just to allow to have this kind of variable, which is going to be either 1 or -1. So if its delete is false, I'm not going to be doing anything, and it's going to stay as 1. So 1 multiplied by whatever, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't change anything. However, when it will delete is going to be true, then this is going to become -1, and then -1 multiplied by this means now instead of adding, I'm just subtracting. Okay? So what do you think? Which one is better? It's up to you. You can use the other one if you like it. I personally prefer this just to avoid problems or maybe forgetting. It seems more clear to me that this is which one is doing. Now it's quite obvious if I'd like to do this update that this is the before delete. I'm just going to call this with the false. No, with the true. I don't know where I was before. I just need to double check that everything is as expected. And then after insert, this is called the same thing with false. Call with true means now do the delete. Now call it again, we do the insert. And that's it. Let's just make sure that everything is still okay. So this is false, means this is not, this is an insert, and this is true, which is this is a delete. And
You need to put in there.
oh, you're right. Yes. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. That's it. Shall we see it working? You don't trust me, though, do you? Let's just put some data, okay? Let's put the customer and what's inside of the this, like total purchases and what is that customer ID? These were the experiments we were doing last time, right? These were like the experiments where we did it manually. I forgot to remove it, probably. Just delete. We don't need this here. In the customer, we said this is what we have, like the ID, name, and then total purchases. The sales, these are like that. The products, and then okay. So let's just hide this. Let's save. Yes. Yeah, when we were testing, and from yesterday when we were trying to manually create the relationships, the foreign key, I forgot to delete it. So now what I'm doing, I'm just going to be inserting some data just so it can be easier for us to test. So we have customer number 1, his name is Mohammed, and total purchases normally it should start with 0. Let's just save this. We're not going to be adding more customers. It's not really, is it? Yeah, let's add another one. Just to and then 0 as well, so we can just see things. Now what I'm going to be doing, same thing, I'm going to be inserting product number 1, the name is product number 1, and then the quantity stock we start with, well, let's put something. Let's start with 100, and then product number 2, P2, another 100, and let's make it 3, P3, product number 3, 100, and save everything. And with the sales, we're going to be adding some sales. Let's add them. Let's add the first one manually, and then we add the others. This one can be null. We're not going to be doing anything. So this is about customer number 1. The first time it should be 0, we said, right? So we just inserted one sale number 1 with the customer number 1, and the total amount should be 0. I think let's forward engineer and generate the insert statements. Let's drop the schema before, if it was there, and okay, so let's see what would be the code. So we're going to create the tables, the relationships, and then these are the triggers. This is the procedure, first of all, that we could copy and update all, and then the name of the database is MyDB. I forgot to change that. I don't want it to be MyDB because there's already something called MyDB. Let's just go back here, and yeah, here I just right click, edit schema, and instead of MyDB, let's call it assignment here. How about that? Okay, let's go back to this and save, Control G again, and let's just hit the next button. Yes, that seems to be okay. Okay, and everything seems to be fine. So what about the inserts? I don't see the, here they are. So these are the inserts. When we insert things in there, that's fine. Let's just hit next. There's a problem. Oh, okay. They still have this MyDB. Cancel. Okay, that's one problem with this workbench. Actually, when you change the database name, it doesn't automatically change the names in the triggers, which is unfortunate. So what I'm going to be doing, just remove the database and it should be fine. Same thing here. which is not a good idea, that they forgot to do these updates. Okay, let's do it again, inshallah, hoping that it's going to be a smooth execution. Alhamdulillah, everything went nice and smooth. Let's just go to now the connection and try to run something. Let's just create a new file by going here and let's test. First of all, we are going to always list everything. Select star from customer, and then we would like to also select everything from product, and then select everything from sale. And I forgot to put the capital letters, probably this is going to, and then select star from sale details. Sorry? On the use first, use assignment 2, and let's run this and see the state before. There's a typo, and how to run everything. There's probably execute. How can I? Just looking at this query, execute all, shift control return. That's what shift control return, executing all. These are all the results. This is customer, product, sale, sale detail. Good. So now we're going to be inserting into sale detail. And what are we going to be inserting? I don't need to put the column names because I'm going to input all of them. I know the sequence of those, so I'm going to put right away just values. And let's say 1, 1. So the sale number 1, it's about the product number 1. We take 10 of from the quantity and sold at the price of 10. What do we expect to be the results? The quantity here in the products for the product 1 should be 90. The customer total purchases should become 100, and the sale should become 100. Let's just execute this, and it says there's a problem. How enjoyable is that? And it's an unknown problem, error 1054. I don't know what this is, so I'm going to copy the response, go to Google and check whatever it is. Unknown column. So this 1054 seems to be some unknown column in the field list. So maybe I just made a mistake and didn't pay attention to the naming of my columns. So I'm just going back. Everything is in the routine. So let's go back to the routine. If I can, okay, just close this. So this is the routine, and make sure that I have all the names that are right. Actually, in the routine, I did not change anything. No, like to make it sure that it's double. No, you can put 0. It will be saved as double. No. But it said this is like the name of the field. Like, just make sure that I have my names right. It seems that I did not make changes here. These are probably ID sale. It's ID sale, ID product. It's ID product. Where is it? ID product. ID product here. Quantity. It's quantity, and price is price, and then delete is delete is delete. I don't think there's a problem here. So maybe let's have a look at the triggers. ID sale, do we have ID sale? Yes. ID product, oh actually it was after insert, so let's go back here. ID sale, ID product, is it quantity sold? Quantity sold, and there's price. So there's a problem, but we don't see what is the problem. Sorry? Maybe the ID?
The false itself, you didn't enter the false. 1 or 0.
What do you mean?
For the boolean, and you have to insert true or
Well, this is what I did. I just added here.
Declare variable, boolean variable.
in the insert.
Why?
The insert.
If when I'm this is the insert. Okay,
Okay.
this is the insert. I'm in the insert here,
Okay.
and I'm added this as a parameter. I just made sure that I have a place for this parameter to be, and this is there. Just for example, maybe this is because let's make it is equal to true. I don't know, maybe this is a problem, I'm not sure, but what I'm going to be doing, I'm just going to be doing this, and then in order for me to know where's my problem, I need to trace my code to understand which line actually was about to create the problem. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do something like this. Select, I'm going to say something, so I'm going to see this on the screen, because if we select something, if you execute something like select whatever test, and then that's it, what you're going to see is that you see test. That's what we're going to be seeing. So what I'm going to be doing, is that I'm going to select and put some text. So this is like query 1, query 2. So first of all, I just would like to know which one was generating the problem. So let's say Q1, and then I'm going to do the same again with here. Let's name it Q2. And just the same similar thing, Q3 and Q4. It's not like a fancy name, but whatever. It just helped me now just trace my code. Of course, what I need to do, just Control G again, and then next. Well, do I have to? Yeah, all the data was not changed, so I don't care about doing this again. I will just put everything, it doesn't matter. Okay, close. Let's go back here and let's debug again. Now it's the same. I don't need this one. Now I'm going to run everything, Control Shift Enter, and then it's going to run this, and I didn't even see any select. Now the error has changed. 1/4, the error code has changed. I mean, you have noticed. And so probably because nothing was displayed, it didn't even reach this select. So this one was never reached. To be sure, I'm going to put this select Q0, for example. So this is going to tell me that just after declaring, even here, select declaration, whatever. And let's see if this is going to show us something, and then we're going to be so this is going to be more accurate, inshallah. Let's run again everything, and there's another code. Every time it's a different one. That's nice.
The problem is in the trigger itself.
So let's copy. Okay, problem in the trigger. I'm not sure that whatever, if I put the select, actually it will show up. It doesn't seem to be showing up. Let's just put something in the trigger then. Before the trigger, let's just put something here. And select before trigger. How about that? Yeah, Allah, another time. You see, that's what is. I mean, it's painful for here for this workbench, and it says. What is the problem? Error code 1415 is the same error code before, and I think probably I might know the problem. So unfortunately before, I don't know why now we don't have that, but before we were able to get like more meaningful error messages. Now it's quite hard to guess. Let me just do something like this, and no error. Hold on. And this was like 1415, which is what kind of, if you see, well, MySQL probably. Not allowed to return result set. So it seems like not all screens are mapped. Blah blah blah. Let me. I don't know what is the message. The error message. It's not clear to me. But let me do something. Let me cancel this. And instead of this double quote, I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Or. Okay. Let's just try that first. So Control G again. Next. I see the same problem. So why is that? I think we've seen that we can have this select before. Now it seems that I can't.
Can you retype the database name dot maybe I'm not.
You think that the problem is with what?
Yeah, before you use MyDB and you change it to assignment to.
Okay.
You delete MyDB.
Yeah, but this is just in when you create your. This is in the code that was generated. Let me just find the mouse again. The only thing that was changed, instead of having when you create a table, you give the database name dot the table name. Now I just removed the database name. It's not going to be doing any wrong. I mean, it's not something that's going to be creating any problems. But if it makes you feel happy, then just run this. Let's try it. Yeah, you're right. It might be something that is about that, but I don't think it's that. It has something to do with these selects. I think probably they don't want us to be selecting things from the. How about that? How about this? So now I'm doing assignment 2 dot, and same thing maybe in the other one here. So assignment 2 dot something. Now all of them, they have this assignment 2 dot something, assignment 2 dot something, and even in the inserts they have that. Let's just run. Alhamdulillah. يهديكم الله ويصلح بالكم. Still, this is the same problem. So this was before, same code, error code as after, as you can see. And I think this is because of this select. So probably, I don't know why, but before I think we were able to do that. And now it seems like we're not able. So let's just do something. How can we have something then that will tell us that will trace the code? Let's just exactly. Let's declare a variable. But this variable I just would like to declare like a session variable. Remember the difference between the session variable and the variable that is, if I'm declaring it, is going to be known within just this this piece of code from the beginning and the end, and outside of that it's not going to be known. So what if we do something like this, and then we create like some variable a and set some value inside of it? Is this going to, first of all, let's just do the Control G and see if it's going to be giving me some problems. Okay, so it seems like this was a select that was generating the problem. Now let's try to see if this variable a, var a, is going to be reachable. Let's just try to Control Shift A. This problem still persists, but there's another code now. And the other thing is that, can I have select at var a and see what's inside of it? Test. So which means we try to call the, first of all, it means like when we put these variables, these session variables are going to be telling us where we are. So we can use something like this instead of the select, which is okay. So we were able to do this before, so we were calling like before trigger, and then I'm going to be doing something instead of query 1, query 2. Let's just make it before trigger insert. after insert. Why I'm doing this? Because I will go here, and instead of this, I'm going to do something like so before declaration, for example. And I'm going to do the same code here before if, and again before query 1, before query 2, before query 3, and query 4. So inshallah this time it is going to become more interesting for us to debug our code. Alright. So now let's run everything. I think I run also this one, but it didn't show up. Interesting. So which means that before trigger is the last one that was able to run. This one was executed correctly. We were able to do it there. But then here, even the declaration, we were not able to use it. I don't get it. Oh, look at this. What is this name? Update all syntax error? What is this thing? Is this maybe the name is wrong? Maybe the name of the routine might be wrong. Let's just add something like this. How about this? But I don't know why it shows me this kind of name. I don't want this kind of name. Edit. It doesn't allow me to change that. Oh, that's weird. Okay, there's some problem here. It seems maybe this is because of this NetBeans. But what I'm going to be doing, just making sure now, after I notice this problem, let's have a look at the code. Let's make it bigger. So we have the routine, that is the procedure is somewhere. Where is it? This is the table. These are the inserts. Where is the routine? Haha. Do you see that the routine is not there? The routine was not part of what I was exporting. It doesn't even notice that there's a routine. It doesn't show anything. I think there's a problem. Cancel. So this is update all syntax error. Actually, this is a problem because I needed to update those, but it doesn't seem to. Well, first of all, let's. You know what? Let's just correct this. I'll keep it as update all. I'm just going back to the others because I forgot to make the changes. But this is not why it didn't work. Probably it's another reason. So update all again, update all, and then update all here. So now let's save and let's do something that sometimes you have to do. Close and open it again. Why? Hello, Adam, but sometimes it fixes some problems. So let's see. So as you can see, it's not really easy to develop those triggers with this this tool. Basically, because this tool is free, and it's not meant for those advanced development. And if you're interested, you can buy some more powerful tools that help you do this kind of debugging and everything. But now let's just go back here. Let's see if I can just rename this to something that makes sense. Can I? Why is it always adding this syntax error? Okay, I don't know why, but I just would like to make sure that I can export it. Okay, so because it doesn't, what I'm going to be doing,
Maybe copy and paste in the
I'm going to be doing it manually. Not add the what? Add another routine? Okay, that's a good suggestion. Let me add another one. Let's name it routine 1. Okay, I'm not going to complain about the name, just if MySQL is happy with it. Just to make it this bigger is a challenge. Okay, so we have this new routine 1. I'm just going to copy all the code from the old one to the new one, and let's just add one last line. Set var a finished. Oh. Okay. So same thing. But it also these parameters. So let's go back to the routine, and for the parameters, let's just do something like this. So we keep the parameters, everything. It just now it's called routine 1. Lucky for us, it's still working. Let's just go back to the triggers, and we're not picky. We can accept routine 1 as a name, and we're doing the same here. And okay, now we saved everything. We're going to Control G, and it next. Is there something that says don't? Normally, no. Okay, 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay. Now it still doesn't show me the routines. So because it doesn't show the routines, of course it's going to be there. So let's cancel, and let's not. Let's see, still we have a syntax error too. So I don't know what is it. Okay, there's a syntax error. I don't know why. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, I just didn't pay attention. This is the one. We cannot put any code. The declaration should be the first thing. So that's I think that was one of the things. This update all. I mean, this has to be there. Let's just. You see now, update all is okay. Let's do this routine 1. But it's weird that it changes this by syntax. Okay. So now let's.
No, we just change the trigger.
Oh yes, again routine 1. Let's just name this routine 1. Routine 1. Is it okay? No? Yes. Okay. The problem is even if I try to save the password, oh no, alhamdulillah, it's there. So it was me creating the problem and then blaming MySQL Workbench for it. Typical human behavior. You do something wrong and you blame the computer. Oh. Okay, let's run. Another error code. Going back to the roots, huh? And before query 4, which is nice now. So before query 4, that means let's go back here and see what happened. This went okay, this went okay, this went okay, but this one didn't went good. So there might be a problem here. And the problem is just this S, I'm guessing. Why am I saying this? Because I say total amount, everything is not in plural, but no, there's total purchases. Okay, so it's there. It's purchases. Oh, you see where the error started from. So this is where the mistakes coming from, is that this purchases is not really purchases. It should be purchases. So a very simple mistake can make your life difficult for half an hour. So let's get it back. Make sure that this is total purchases, and inshallah it should be fine. Okay. I see, even if you save it doesn't matter. So okay, now next, was it included? Yes. Okay. Hopefully, Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Finished all. Everything is nice. We're happy. Everything is in the green. Now we'll have a look at the calculations.
Yeah, you need to print the table.
I need to print them again. You're right. So let's just copy this and Control Enter. No. Anyways, this is Control Enter. This is the customer. So the customer is okay. It's 100. That's fine. The products is fine because we just sold 10 from that product 1. And then the sale is 100, which is wonderful. Now let's just keep this one and copy and paste, so you can have, we don't need this one anymore. We can just put it as a comment and comment the other one. And because we would like to have before and after, I'm just copying before and after. So this is before and this is after. So I'm going to add another product number 2 for the same sale with the 20 and 10. So now product number 2 should be reduced to 80, and the total sale and total purchases should both of them be 300, right?
Yes. No,
Total amount should be 300,
yeah, 300.
and total purchases 300 as well. For, of course, customer number 1. Okay, so this is after, so this is the sale detail was added, and so total amount for the sale is okay, the product is okay, and the customer is fine. This is how it was before. It was like that before, and then we just added this thing over there. So it was before like this, now we added this 200, so it became 300. The product was 100 in P2, now it became 80, and so on. Now let's do something more interesting. Add for another customer, like this. Not well, for another customer. Let's add for another customer. So now if we'd like to add it for another customer, we insert into sale now, and values. I don't remember, so I just show the ID of the sale, and then okay, so I'm going to be putting ID of the sale number 2, just 2, and then we don't care about the date, and then the customer number 2, and of course we need to start with 0. And then with this number 2, I'm going to add the product number 1, or maybe the product number 3, 30 at the same price. So let's just run. We don't need the before and after, do we? Well, let's keep it just in case. So now let's run. So this is before. Now after the customer, now the second has 300 because we sold this 30. This one becomes 70, and these both of them have the same price and everything. Let's add another one into the customer number 2, and for the sale it's just he sold product number 1, 30 whatever. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. I should have executed everything so I can see before and after as well. So this is after. Now Abdullah has 600 because 300 and not the 300, 70, and it seems like to be okay, right? Now let's do some business with the update or delete. Delete quite easy, but let's try it too. Let's just delete this line over here from Muhammad, this one over here. So I'm going to delete this one, which means the product number 2 should go back to be 100, because the product now is 80, and when I'm going to take back this product number 2, it should be back to 80. So I'm going to delete from sale details, where, because I have only one that has ID product number 2, I can just do something like this. It's just one line that is going to be deleted, right? It's going to be easier. So now let's again run everything before and after. So this is before and this is after. So the customer now has only 100. Why? Because the customer number 1, it has only 100. The sale became 100 instead of 300. The products, this comes back to 100 how it was, and then this is 100 instead of 300. So everything went okay. Now the nice part, which is the update. Or let's update something. What are we going to be updating? Update. What do you want to update? These two. Let's make it, instead of this update sale details, set ID sale or price. Okay, you want to change the price? Okay, let's change the price. Let's set price equal 20, where ID sale is equal to 2 and ID product is equal to 1. So now again, let's run everything.
Sale details, the name. Start with capitals.
Oh. Okay. So now this becomes 20. Now what should happen is that normally the sale should be we should add what? 300 to the sale. So instead of 300, it will be 600 now. Plus the 300 here, so it will be 900. Are we calculating right? This was 10. What we added is that we made it 12 or 20. So instead of the total for this line, instead of being 600, it was 300 before. So we added 300. So now it's 600 plus 300, so it should be 900 actually. So in the sale, it doesn't show 900. That's a problem. Let's find out here. Is any change here? No changes. But I'm looking at product 1 is to be 60. Why product 1 is 60? Yes, because I sold 40 of that product number 1. Okay, customer now has 600, should be 900 as well.
Can we go back to the product table?
Product? On the P2 we deleted it, so that's it worked. Now this price didn't seem to be working. Why is that? Let's have a look back. Let's have a look back at our code. So now this delete worked. That means when it was -1, it worked. Now with this +1, something did not go right. Let's just try to do ourselves what the trigger should be doing. In order for us to do that, we need just to replace these with numbers, so we can see actually what happened practically. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be copying these ones. So I'm going just to keep those. Okay, just to make them happen. First of all, let's just correct this. We'd like just the tables, let them be whatever they should be. this should be 900, right? Why I'm doing this? Because I would like to change them back to how they were. They should be 900. Now if I just just apply, not this one, apply, so it will execute this, run, and the other one,
It's enough. It's the same.
customer sale is different.
Sale and sale are the same. So
No, I'm changing the values of the customer and then the sale. Now I just would like to run this query to change this. Not this one here. Sales details. Instead of 20, let's make it 10. Because when I'm doing this, actually, what should happen? Let's make it 10. It should be 600. Let me just run this again and see when this minus happen. Did it? Nice. So the product doesn't change, of course, but what is that? Something. Sale details 31. So it was changed, but there's a problem here with this calculation. It stayed 900.
but where is the customer?
Okay, hold on. Now I have 4 things: sale details, customer, product. Why is it showing me sale details many times? Oh, probably because this one I need to discard, not apply. Okay. So customer, product, sale details, customer, product, sale details. So this is how it was. Let's say now the sale, but sale is customer doesn't seem to be working. I changed it to from. Okay, so hold on. So what should happen here? Normally, we want this now to be what? For this is with 300 plus 300, it should be 600. So the sale here should be 600, but it's not the case. So it didn't work either when we added or not. So I'm going to manually change that because I would like to run exactly the same thing that normally we should be doing. No, here.
I think the problem is the sale trigger.
600. The problem is the
You
sale
don't
trigger.
call the routine in the sale trigger.
But we don't need to.
Yes, you need, because you need to change the customer.
But we're doing it within this. When we added, it was changed. When we deleted, it was changed. When we just now updated, that there was a problem. But just first of all, let's just check. Did we have something when we update? When we update, normally we should have something that says after update. So after update, we call this. This is the delete, right? And this is the insert.
You should put info.
Exactly. Here's the problem. I forgot when you're doing this copy and pasting, you can easily forget to do this kind of old and new. And actually, this is the mistake. The mistake normally should be old ID sale and old and old and old. Then when this is going to work, because we would like to take the old price and add it to it. And then since we were not doing that, that's why it worked here, because we're doing the old, but here it did not work because there was a problem. So you have to be very careful. Let's do it again. Happily. And because we are just would like to have the values there, and we have everything, so we can just uncomment. That's why I just leave them as a comment, so it will be much easier for us to later on update and see. So I'm just going to do everything so I can see first, and then I'm going to run this update sale details later on. Okay, so everything run. So this is what we have. Normally the sale is showing 600, the customer is 600, and the products is actually what it should be, how it was. Now let's just comment these. and uncomment this one. So now we would like this, instead of price 10, we would like it to be 20. So with the price 20, normally we know that it should be 900, and hopefully, inshallah, it should be working. It's working. Now let's just play a little bit more. Now this is how it is. What happens if, instead of saying, oh, this is product ID sale 2, we'd like to change this to ID sale 1. So the ID sale 2 should be 600, which means this customer should become 600, customer 2, and this one, it should become 400. Let's do that. Now we would like to set the ID sale equal to 1, where ID sale was 2 and ID product 3. So we're changing this. Instead of this being 2, we would like to make it 1. So the sale, it's 400 and 600, each one of them, right? Because this is 300 and 100, this is 400. And then for the customer, 500 and 600. Now let's insert another sale. That's for fun. Sorry? The product, we did not change it, so it will not change. But let's add another sale, so we can have like different values for the total amount and the total purchase. But actually this is like the same number. Now let's just add some different ones. And let's comment on that one. So I'm going to be adding another sale. Let's say sale number 3, which was made by the ID of the ID number 1. And then this sale number 3, let's just sell some of the product number 2 with this price wherever. So now what would happen is that, what should happen? We add in 300 to the customer number 1. So the customer number 1 should be becoming 700. And then the total sale is going to be not touched here, because we're going to be having a new one, which is going to be 300. And the product 2 is that going to be 70 instead of 100. So that's what we expect. You agree with me, right? Let's just run that. And let's see. Sale. So we have another sale, and this 300. We have the product 70 for the pre-2, and then we have each one of them calculated differently. Seems to be working. So alhamdulillah, that was a good experience. So you can see how to debug. Actually, before we were showing something like selects, and this is like when we use this session variable. So this is some kind of way how you can debug your code and see what kind of problems happens. Also, we've experienced some problems with the copy and paste without looking and double checking. So as you can see, it cost us some time just to be able to find it. I didn't do it on purpose, actually. I just noticed the mistake as we were trying to find out what the problem was. Actually, when you noticed it, this is the time when I noticed it as well. So this was not, rehearsed. I did not lure you into believing I don't know what the problem was. I didn't know what the problem was. So we just found the problem together. So I just would like to conclude with one thing. I don't know if we're going to be testing it, but just let's see what would be the change if I just would like to have like this two triggers in different places, like some triggers here, and then also some triggers to update the customer total purchases just to keep it here. So if I'd like to do that, actually I'll need to change this routine, because I will not be using this from here. I don't want to be then updating this total customer here. So I'm just in this routine, I'm just going to be updating just the sale and the product tables, and then I will have to create. I don't need a routine for that, because there's going to be only one trigger, which should be after update. And that after update what I'm going to be doing is that no, because delete, yeah, maybe also after delete as well.
No, no, only
After delete, yeah, I might if this is the yeah, if but actually even after delete, I cannot delete a sale until I delete the corresponding lines in sale details. So because every sale is going to be updating every time I delete something from sale details, it's going to update the sale. So imagine like there's a sale number 3, I would like to delete it, and sale number 3 has like 3 products. I will have to execute 3 deletes for each one of those products before I can delete the sale. So each one of these 3 deletes in the sale details is going to generate an update for the sale. So it's going to, I delete this line, update this. I delete this line, update that. I'm going to update the total amount every time. So actually I don't need to have on any other trigger except this one, which is then something like update customer set total purchase equal
purchases.
total purchases. Yeah, we learned the lesson. Equal total purchases plus total amount. I need a where. Well,
Where
ID
ID
is equal new or old.
New.
new ID.
Oh,
You
New.
have to do it twice.
oh.
To make some.
You have to put new and old.
I need to deal with the old and the new. Actually, there's a problem. This total amount, basically, I have 2 values of this total amount. There's a new total amount. There's an old total amount. Which one am I going to be using?
Both.
Both of them. I need to have the old one. I need to remove the old one and add the new one. There was the update. I mean that price was. I mean the total amount was 200, and I added this 200 before. Now I would like to change this 200 to 300. So I need to remove the 200 and add the 300. So it will become just now 300. I'd like to update that. If I don't do this, I'm going to keep adding, and it's going to become like a big number. It's going to become like an inflated number. So I'm going to add the new dot total amount and minus the old dot total amount. Where, but then, am I going to be using the new or the old?
Well, I think you could avoid all this by using
Put it twice.
use a function that calculates the sum of the total amount with the same ID, and then
So you calculate, you run like a query within the sale details, and then you just update it based on that.
you run a query here that will calculate the fields in the sales.
Sale details,
Sales.
sale.
Yeah, total amount. Sum equal to total.
Yeah.
Sum
we
total
calculate
amount.
the
Okay, so if you do sum total amount, you're going to calculate the sum of the total amount of all customers.
No.
Yeah,
You have to
no.
put a condition where ID sale equal. Sorry, ID customer equal to ID customer.
Oh, that's a good. You'd like to calculate. Okay. You'd like to do something like this, like select sum of total amount, and you can save it later on, so to some variable, like into some variable, whatever. Where from first sale, where ID customer
Equal to new
equals
ID.
new dot ID customer.
Then you update.
And then this one you can put it somewhere, and then you can update it with that value. That's it. Okay. There might be a problem. This is a good idea, but there's a problem. The problem is when you try to say always new ID customer. What if there's an update in this table, and then we change the ID of the customer from 5 to 2? We didn't. Now the ID of the customer needs to be changed.
But the change will happen in cell detail, not
No. For example, I made like different sales for different people. And then I realized, oh, this sale number 1 should be from customer 2, not customer 1. So I need first of all to remove that sale from customer number 1 in the total purchases and add it to the customer number 2. So it's not just as simple, just calculate just for one ID of customer. There are 2 ID of customers that I need to update. So basically this is what I need to do. I need to do 2 kinds of updates. The old one I need to do an update, and the new one I need to do an update. Maybe in some cases the new one and the old one is the same. But this is going to work, but I need to do them for both. For the new and the old.
You don't have to, because you are putting it in a trigger, update trigger in the cell. So whenever you update in the cell, it will recalculate everything. That's what I mean.
Good, but this will also, the trigger is going to be this one is going to be triggered by another trigger, right? When we insert, let's say, into cell details, it's going to update cell. And then because there's an update on sale, it's going to update the customer. So the trigger sale inside of the sale was triggered by a trigger. What if it was not triggered by a trigger? What if I manually update, like the codes that I'm doing? I'm updating the table and then I'm changing the customer from ID number 1 to ID number 2.
In the sale table?
In the sale table.
The trigger will work.
No. Let me show you something, because if you keep it as new ID customer, what you're going to be doing is that you don't update the code for the old customer. You just update for the new one. It will work for the new one, but for the old one, it won't, because you need to do the same thing also for the old one. The same thing that you're doing here for the new one, you have to do it again for the old one. So you need to include that as well. Yes.
this problem will happen same as if we put the trigger in the cell detail.
No, because this was not.
Because the trigger, it will not be in the cell. It will be in the cell detail.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what you're saying here, if you're just looking at just this trigger now after update, if it is triggered by only another trigger in cell details, that's okay. This might work, because in the update that is coming from cell detail, we don't update the ID of the customer. What we do update is just the total amount. What I mean is here. This, whatever we do here, whatever this routine it does, it will going to update. It is going to call update this cell. And when with this line, the only thing that we change is the total amount. So the ID of the customer is not changed. So we're safe from that side. But are we safe when we update this sale?
Yeah, I think we are.
Okay, just if you think you are, let's just make it the point. Let's try it. So we're going to be declaring declare what we call it. Let the variable, let's say total as double. Not as double, and we can put default, but we don't have to. It's not mandatory, but I can just select now this into the total from whatever it is, right? And then you want me to do what? Update customer, set this to total, right? Without the plus. Where ID is equal new dot ID customer. Everybody's happy? Yes? Let's try it. So first of all, let's do it right. So let's make sure that we disable the code here. We disable the code. We just give extra parameters for nothing, but it doesn't matter. But this is what it's going to be doing. Okay, let's run this. Sorry, here. This is going to be fun if I'm able to click on the button. Okay. So we delete everything before. We enter again the password. We can't enter the password. What was that? Okay, let's see it next. Yes.
For database, can you update the sale?
Update the what?
The sale, the ID of the sale table.
Hamkallah. I didn't understand. Let's cancel. What do you want to do?
Update the.
Which table? Tell me which table. Here?
No, the
Cell details?
the database, the query.
In the routine?
No, where I put the query.
We're not there yet. Let's just no. You don't have problems with this code. With this code, you have a problem. So I just would like to put these changes into the database, and then here we're going to do the change here. But we're not there yet. You're talking about here, right?
Yeah.
So we're not there yet. Let's just now move forward and save all those changes. Now the sale details trigger is not going to be updating directly the table customer. It's going to be done through the sale. Now let's just put the values, the initial values that we have put, and actually let me just show you what we are at right now. This is what we have. So we have ID sale details empty, and then we have these 100 and then one customer number one. So now we'd like to insert something, right? So after inserting, we just would like to make sure that everything is going to be updated. So let's just so this is going to insert a new line here, and of course it needs to, what we're going to be looking at is just we need to see the customer needs to be updated, right? So customer should be becoming 100. Let's see. Let's focus on the customer and see the 100 is there. MashaAllah. Wonderful. Let's just add it to another one. Okay, we add another line. Now the customer should be 300, right? And let's just cancel this one and run. Now we have two lines for the same customer, and let's go for the customer. Alhamdulillah, it works. Very good. Now let's do something that I'm talking about. The whole time I was saying, oh no, you know what, I was doing a mistake. Now this sale was not about customer number one, it's about customer number two. So which means here this 300 should go back to customer number two. So I'm just going to update sale set ID customer to be equal to 2, where ID of the sale is equal to 1. So what I'm doing here, I would like to change this line. Instead of customer number 2, I would like to make it customer number 1, I would like to make it customer number 2. The total amount is not going to change, of course, but what is going to change, normally this should become 0 on this one, 300.
Becomes 300.
So let's have a look. Something wrong happened. Nothing wrong happened. So customer number 2, let's see now. Oh, both of them have 300. So nice of you. That's what I was saying. We did not deal with the old. Okay, now let's deal with the old. So how do we deal with the old then? So we do whatever we did here with the new one, we need to do it again with the old one. So that's why every time when you do some kind of update, it should be something like that. Like dealing with the old one. Okay, dealing with the old customer. And when we deal with the old customer, we're going to be doing something like this. Let's count whatever was for the old customer, and then let's update the old customer. And then we're going to be doing now the same thing with the new customer. With the new customer, which is going to be doing this. We did it correctly. So the calculation was done correctly for the old one and the new one. So let's just do it again. Fine. And let's go back here. We're going to be just executing everything, and just at the end we'd like to see that it's going to be, it should be with this correct values for the, instead of this 300 300, so one of them should be 0, this one should be 0, and this one should be 300. Now let's just execute everything. Oh, there was a problem. Update sales set ID customer equal to, there was a problem 1048. So this one had a problem, which means this customer, there was a problem with this over here. Select sum total amount from sale where ID customer is the old ID customer. This is after update, and then set total purchase equal total. Well, this is old ID customer, and then we're doing the same thing again with this. So there was a problem here. I don't know why, but let's try to understand why. Where were we? We're here. 1048. What is a 1048? Don't know what is 1048? Thank you. Column not found, or cannot be null. Or which one is which? Cannot be null. Column cannot be null. Okay. I know the problem. So basically what we did is that we did not initialize this. So when there was no values for this, it was null, and then that's why actually it gives us. So we need to default 0, but I was thinking even if I default it to 0, when I do something like this, if it's null, it's going to make it null. So actually, can I ask something, do something like this? If this total is null, set total equals 0, and if yeah, then I think probably this might solve my problem, because one of them is going to be this one. I think, I'm not sure though. The old one maybe, but the old one, yeah, because there was none available, so it should be 0, and then instead of putting 0, that's why it's just. I think that was the problem. And I'm doing the same thing in case now the new one doesn't have any value, does not have any invoice, so it should be put as 0. So that's why I think this should work. And it didn't have to do with this this default value, because it will change later on. That default value was not necessary. Let's try it again. Inshallah, it should be fine, and this will seal the point. Inshallah. Bismillah. Okay, everything went smoothly, alhamdulillah. And then if you go now to the customer, it was 0 and 300, alhamdulillah. And that made the point between the two different ways on how to deal with that. And actually, you know what? This one is better than the other one. This solution is better than the other one. Of course, we can improve it by just putting some routines of things that we are doing, some like copy and paste. We can improve that. But this is better because this kind of dealing with changing the customer ID wasn't dealt with here. In the old one, we don't deal with the customer ID if it was changed. We just assume it will not be changed, and if it was changed, we didn't deal with it. So this one actually is much better. This one when having like a trigger here. That was fun, wasn't it? Boring sometime, but it was a very long video. Any questions? We want to go? Okay.